Okay, just in case you don't read up in medical news today, they put out an article last year saying living alone and divorce linked to inflammation in men. Let's look at this article. The bullet points: divorce or relationship breakups are associated with poor health in men. A new study looking at middle aged men in Denmark found that living alone and experiencing more relationship breakdowns are linked to higher levels of inflammation. The studies found no such link in women. So, there you have it. Those are the bullet points. Scientists have already shown that for men, divorce or the breakup of a relationship often leads to a decline in health and is associated with increased mortality. The breakup of a relationship leads to living alone, which is also linked to health issues. Previous studies have found an association between social isolation and higher levels of inflammation, suggesting potential physiological pathway. However, there is little prior research looking at how this association might work over a longer course of time. As the number of people living alone increases in Western populations, scientists are keen to understanding the ties between personal relationship and disease states. This is very interesting. A recent large study in Denmark adds to our growing understanding. The authors identified a significant association between partnership breakups or years lived alone and increased inflammation levels in men. Since heightened inflammatory levels are associated with increased mortality and morbidity from a number of chronic diseases, our study contributes a potential linking mechanism. The study used data from middle aged people covering 26 years of adult life. Inflammation is the body's way of defending itself against toxins, injury, and infection. Acute inflammation lasts a few hours or days, for example, after a cut in the knee. Chronic inflammation is the persistence of inflammation reaction. White blood cells can flood the system and attack healthy tissues. Okay, so there were over 4,800 adults aged 48 to 62 over 26 years from 1986 to 2011. And you can see the breakdown of men to women. There are definitely more men in this study than there were women. They did draw blood samples and test those samples to find out the inflammation levels. Skip down to the bottom. It says men who had lived alone for the longest time, 7 years or more, had 12% higher levels of inflammation than the reference group. The study found no such effect in women. What does that tell you? These findings suggest that men, not women, are significantly disadvantaged by relationship breakdowns or living alone. So, why are the findings different in women? The authors suggest a number of possible explanations for why women were not affected in the same way as men. Firstly, it could be that women have fewer health gains from it being in a marriage. If so, a breakup would cause less risk of declining health. Secondly, there is evidence that young men have a greater inflammatory response than women, which may persist later in life. They also note that there was a relatively small group of female participants in the study, which might mean that it missed a true association. I will also say that women will tell you that they are happier once they are divorced or, once they become widowed. And even single women are saying that they are happy in life. So maybe they should stop trying to push women into marriage and focus on men and teaching men how to relate to women in the course of a marriage. That's just me saying that. Focus on men teaching emotional intelligence and how to be participants and equal partners in a relationship. That should be the next research project. But you guys go ahead, jump in the comments, tell me what you think, like, comment, share.